A stressful and emotional weekly update for our family. For this week's stats, I had 171 views, I had 10 likes, I actually lost one subscriber, and I have 1.9 watch hours. This week by far is my slowest week. I did publish a very short video, I think it was less than 3 minutes long, but I'm taking it as a learning opportunity. I'm just reviewing the video to see what could possibly have caused it to be such a low performer. Every video that I publish is a learning opportunity, and so I'm not mad that it performed poorly. I just need to figure out why it's performing poorly so I can make changes on future videos. Our family's just had a tough couple of weeks, and this week kind of just topped it off. Our family pet, Nova, got really sick, and we don't know what caused it. The doctors think it might be genetic, and so we are close to losing her. We already kind of under a stressful situation with what's happening with our family and this other situation that's going on. And so now we also have the heartache and kind of the pain that's going through possibly losing a family pet. This is the boy's first long-term dog. She's 7 years old, and it kind of came out of the blue. We weren't prepared for it. She's not old enough to be like, dying of old age, but it's kind of, just shocking, and we weren't prepared for it. And so this has been really tough for our family, dealing with the sickness of the dog and trying to figure out what is going to be the decision with her as far as quality of life. And so we're really struggling this week. Have I done any research for my channel this week? I haven't really done any research, but I am recognizing that I do need to go and do some research, not for YouTube related research, but more for my topic of not expertise, because I'm not an expert, but what I want to be making videos on. So again, I'm making videos on homesteading, and I really need to research what kind of videos I want to make in the future. The first set of videos kind of have been just a journey in gardening, and I want to expand that into more. And so I need to decide where I want to take my channel in the future episodes and what I want to talk about. So that's something that I'm going to research. I also want to research more on how to enhance my videos, how to make them more interesting, more cinematic. If there's, I'm already trying to do a cinematic thing, but maybe even a little bit more cinematic. And I want to also learn how to talk properly on camera. I'm not a person that talks a lot naturally outside of these recap videos. And so I need to find a way to record daily talking more and really expressing myself better. So I think that's something I'm going to be researching and working on in future videos so that I can portray who I really am better. Let's talk about video editing and scripting. I'm adding scripting to this section because it is something that I want to focus on in my future videos. So video editing, again, we're doing great with CapCut. I haven't committed to doing a subscription yet, but I think, maybe when the finances stabilize, I will look into upgrading and paying a subscription for a video editing app. For now, I'm just continuing to toggle between CapCut and Clipchamp because it's working and it's free. But as far as scripting goes, I want to take the next season of my channel up a level, and I want to change it up a bit. And so what I've noticed in the first season, as I'm getting used to making videos and recording, is that I think it's very tame for who I am. It's not really showing my true personality, and that's something that I want to try to enhance in the future videos. So I want to put out more raw vlogs about, of me talking more. But that kind of scares me because I prefer to do the voiceovers after the fact instead of standing and sitting and talking on camera, because there's just more mistakes that can happen. And while you're doing things and you make a mistake with what you're talking, you can't redo what you're doing physically, right? So if I'm cooking dinner, I can't re-cook dinner because I spoke incorrectly, right? So that's kind of one of the things that I'm really struggling with. I want to do more real raw vlog footage because it's going to show who I really am, the lighter side, the funnier side of me. But I'm also worried that it might be more stressful and more work, and I don't know if I can pull it off. That's the big fear, I guess. But unless I try, I never know. But I know that the first season, while I'm happy with it, it's not really who I am. It's not really putting out my personality, and and it feels a little bit heavy for who I am. So I think for season 2 of my channel, I really want to focus on resetting and putting myself out there more. How many recordings did I do this week? I recorded 89 clips. Something that I'm trying to do differently is record more clips throughout the week instead of focusing on doing a whole bunch of clips on the weekend when I have free time. Again, this family situation is getting close to ending, which has been limiting my ability to record footage regularly. But now that it's close to being over, I'm going to try to focus on recording more daily so you guys can get a more real live glimpse of things happening as they're happening, opposed to me doing recaps at the end of the week, or even while I'm filming for my other channel, waiting to record everything on the weekend so that there's a little bit of change of scenario, change of topics, something that is a little bit more interesting for the viewer than just one video, one sit down. It'll give a little bit of change in background and change in what's happening. And I'm able to capture what's really happening right away, my emotions, my feelings as they're happening, opposed to waiting at the end of the week when I've already had a chance to process everything and it's kind of clean. I want it to be more real for you guys. And so that's something that I'm going to be working on, is really trying daily to capture a couple of clips of just what's running through my mind at the moment so that I can incorporate them in videos. Did I spend any money for my channel this week? I actually did. I spent a little bit more money. So one thing that I got was a magnetic tripod. I've been struggling with getting my phone on the tripods that I have. They're really a little bit cumbersome to get on and off. And so I decided to invest in one that's magnetic that'll easily just snap the phone on, because I have a case with the magnetic part to it. And so it's going to make it easier for me to just snap the phone on, and do some recording instead of having to finagle with the other tripod that I have. So I did invest with that. The tripod alone was $28.13. I also invested in an automatic curling iron and some spray, like heat protectant spray, to put over it. And I don't know if I should count this as YouTube expense, but I work from home and I rarely have to be on a Zoom camera. And so the reason I got that was really for when I'm recording video, because now that I'm on camera all the time, I want to look a little bit more presentable. So I can't say it's a personal expense for me at my other job, or, outside of this recording or outside of YouTube, because I literally only got it for YouTube activity. So I'll talk to an accountant, see if it's something that I can write off, since it is specifically used for this purpose. So the automatic curling iron, the hair protectant spray, and a blowout brush, plus the tripod, all came out to $124.44 in spend that I believe is all related to YouTube. How has my schedule been this week? This week, my schedule was completely different from my prior weeks. I actually did really good. So at the beginning of the week, I planned everything out on my Happy Planner. So I have a Happy Planner that has a weekly breakout, a monthly breakout, and then you can write in everything that you're doing. And so I took the time to write in my schedule, when I was going to do my strength training workouts, when I was going to do certain YouTube activities, what I was going to have for dinner each week. So I took the time on Monday morning to fill out that weekly planner. It starts on a Monday and it ends on a Sunday. And so that's why I do my recaps, Monday through Sunday as well. And then I try to I try to film my recaps on Monday, because it's immediately following that week and everything is fresh. So this week I was able to stick to my schedule perfectly. And I kind of told myself that enough was enough. I know I'm under a lot of pressure. I know I'm under a lot of stress, and I know there's a lot going on, but it was really impacting me not sticking to my schedule. It was making me more stressed. It was making me more unhealthy, because I wasn't planning out my meals. We were eating out too much. We were eating too much junk food. And also, because I was skipping my workouts, I was starting to feel all those symptoms of perimenopause coming back. So last week, I put my foot down with myself and I said, you are going to stick to your schedule. And so far I haven't seen the results, but I know that it took a while to fix everything prior. So taking my supplements for my perimenopause, doing my workouts regularly, it took like a full 30 days for me to see relief the first time. So I'm expecting fully for it to take a couple of weeks of me sticking to my schedules and sticking to my workouts and my good eating plan before I can see any results. I'm prepared for that. But week 1, I got it down. I did it. Do I have any accomplishments for this week? I don't have any accomplishments I could list for this week. How have my emotions been this week? I feel like because I decided to stick to my schedule, I decided to pre-plan a couple of things. It's really helped me feel a little bit more in control. And so at the beginning of the week, I was going off strong, and then, the problems with Nova started, my dog, and of course that kind of threw us all into a tailspin. And so, started off the week okay, quickly went downhill with everything going on with my dog and all the emotions that go along with possibly losing my pet. And so again, it's we got to take it day by day. We really do. But I continue to stick to my schedule, and I think sticking to my schedule helped me feel like I had a little bit of control of everything that was going on. And so I'm not saying that I did good. I'm not saying that my emotions were in any way under control, but at least I felt like I was in a little bit more control. So what about my goals? I want to continue focusing on journaling daily. I also want to try to make it a point to record some of my thoughts daily instead of waiting till the end of the week to record everything. So I'm trying to squeeze in recordings every now and then. I know it's hard, but I think I just need to pick up the phone and just record. Whatever I'm thinking, whatever I'm seeing, just pick it up and record. Whether I use it or not, we'll see. But I think it's just important for me to really start getting comfortable being on camera and recording and using the tools that I have. So that's going to be one of the goals that I have going into next week, is trying to pick up the camera and record more and see how I can incorporate those little clips into my weekly recaps or even into my homesteading videos. I also really want to focus on figuring out how I'm going to structure season 2 of my channel. Again, I finished off season 1 and it's really going to, it ended on a low note. And so I want to start season 2 on a little bit of a high note and make it like a 360, the complete different view of what was season 1, and see if I can get viewers more engaged, see if I can show more of my personality, and see if I can make it a little bit more entertaining. Do I have any milestones for this week? I don't think there's anything I can list as a milestone for this week. My friends, that wraps up week 12 of being a YouTube content creator. I want to thank you for the privilege of your time, and I hope to see you again next week.